Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
It is decision day in Michigan. Primary voters hit the polls, and we're learning it could be a while before we know who wins. And coronavirus is changing how these campaigns are run starting tonight.
We're going to begin, though, with fast-moving developments in the coronavirus outbreak. A New York City suburb is now a containment zone, as college students are told classes will be held online until further notice. Glad you're with us for Local 4 News at 5. While the risk of the coronavirus still remains low, the game does seem to be changing here in the U.S. as it spreads.
Let's get you caught up on the big headlines for today. Students at Ohio State University have been told all classes will be held online. The same goes for Harvard and Princeton as well. Meanwhile, Bloomberg reports the New York Auto Show, slated for April, is likely to be postponed until August.
That comes as both Delta and United Airlines make steep cuts in the number of flights. The big headline, though, is what's happening right now in New York. So let's start things off here at 5 with Dr. Frank McGeorge with that part of the story. Doc?
Well, Kim and Devin, the suburb of New Rochelle has 108 of New York's 173 cases. Now, in an effort to contain the virus, much of the city is being shut down for 2 weeks. It's not a lockdown. People will be allowed to leave their homes and go to work, but schools, houses of worship, and large gathering places, all closed.
This is literally a matter of life and death.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is calling in the National Guard and has created a containment area centered on a cluster of confirmed cases in New Rochelle. Across the country, schools, conferences, music festivals, and sporting events continue to cancel or alter events.
Last week when I heard that idea, it seemed like an overreaction. Today, it seems like the obviously correct choice to make.
Critics continue to question the White House plan to deal with the infections and the fear.
By far, the best way to ensure economic security for the American people is to deal directly with the coronavirus itself.
President Trump made a visit to Capitol Hill, meeting privately with Republican lawmakers, looking for a cure for the economic impact.
There's a great feeling about doing a lot of things, and that's one of the things we talked about.
But with Congress off next week, there are questions about what can be accomplished immediately. Earlier in the day, after meeting with the president, executives with the nation's largest healthcare companies announced co-pays for coronavirus testing would be waived. Right now, there are more than 700 confirmed cases in 36 states and growing.
Now, Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar says another 4 million test kits should be available by the end of the week. Much of that new capacity will be in private testing labs as opposed to state labs, and in theory that should help speed up testing and make it more accessible for doctors to get patients tested.
But Secretary Azar also said today the U.S. government has no way of knowing how many people have been tested, and to liken it to Election Day, to me, that's a little bit like having election results but not knowing how many precincts are reporting. It's absolutely, I don't know what to do with that information.
Right. It's critical that we have some central repository of all of that information, and really without that mechanism in place, it's going to be almost impossible for us to get a good handle on the spread and how widespread it is.
Yeah. Okay, Doc, thanks. Well, it was yet another wild day on Wall Street, but this time it was a 1,000-point swing in the right direction. At the close today, the market was up 1,164 points. That represents 4.8% of the Dow index. Nearly all major markets followed suit with big gains.
Now to decision day in the state of Michigan. The state's 147 delegates up for grabs in today's Democratic primary, and the coronavirus is having an impact on the campaign trail. We've just learned rallies for both Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders scheduled for tonight in Cleveland have been canceled. Caution over the virus.
Meanwhile, earlier today, both frontrunners, Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, were in town today making one last push to get out the vote. And that's not the only thing on the ballot.
We've got reporters fanned out across the metro. Steve Garagiola in Macomb County following the DIA millage. Larry Spruill in Detroit following coronavirus precautions at the polls.
But we're going to start with Paula Tutman. She's live in Rochester Hills, where it's been busy all day there, Paula.
Yeah, it really has been. Now, keep in mind, 20% of the registered voters here voted by absentee ballot, but it's still been very brisk business inside. The majority of people are signing up to register to vote and vote day of. They've had at least 50, and then that was by 4 o'clock. And then when I went in, they still had about 20, 25 people in line to do so. One small hiccup, there was a senior center, had some concerns over the coronavirus. Last night said they didn't want the public in to vote. The city was able to allay those fears, get the place cleaned up, secured, and voting is going on there now without a hitch. Let's go to my colleague, Larry Spruill. He's in Detroit.
Good evening, Paula. I am here live in Detroit where voters have been casting their ballots. Things have been pretty constant throughout the evening. But one thing is on the mind of voters and poll workers, the coronavirus. Now let's take a look at some of the video that we have inside the voting precincts throughout Metro Detroit. Now, although there are no confirmed cases here in Michigan, but they want to make sure everyone stays healthy and is safe. As you can see, the poll workers are wearing masks on their face as well. Now, I talked to Janice Winfrey, who is over the elections here in Wayne County. She tells me, of course, the coronavirus is on everyone's mind this election season. And although it's not mandatory that the workers wear the mask, it's totally fine for workers to protect themselves. Another thing we noticed is hand sanitizer on the bowling tables as well. Now, I also reached out to Winfrey. She tells me that obviously the coronavirus will play a factor in the voting turnout. As a matter of fact, here at this precinct, about 600 people cast their ballots. About half of that happened in just the last hour or so. When it comes to absentee ballots, they plan on voting and counting between 20 and 35,000 ballots tonight. We are live in Detroit tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Larry, and good evening. I'm Steve Garagiola, live in Warren. Of course, the number one issue on the minds of most voters today is the presidential primary. But here in Macomb County, voters will make another decision, and that is a tri-county millage for the Detroit Institute of Arts, Oakland, Wayne, and Macomb County. That controversial millage first passed back in 2012, a 10-year millage. Critics here said the problem will be it's just a matter of time before they come back and ask for another millage. It very narrowly passed in 2012 here in Macomb County, and it is controversial again here 2 years before it expires. So we will be watching those results very closely here throughout the night. Devin, Kimberly, back to you.
You bet, Steve. And we do know it's going to be a long night awaiting results. This massive uptick in absentee ballots. It's the first time that we've dealt with this. So, and also day of registration.
Yeah, we'll see how it all pans out here. We'll be posting results as they come in all night long to clickondetroit.com. The link will be front and center right there on the homepage.
Well, after a wet and gloomy start to this election day, the sun is out when we get to enjoy it with our extra hour of daylight.
That's right. It actually was quite nice. Let's get over to Ben, who's tracking more rain and maybe, dare I say, a little snow?
You may dare say it. Yes, it is in the forecast. But I'll tell you, those clouds got out of here in a hurry. And you can see it took just about every single cloud with it when they left just about an hour or so ago. There's the next system. You see it on the other side of the lake. Yes, there's some blue over there. And we do have snow in the forecast as we get into tomorrow. A little bit of it, not much, but there will be a few flakes around. We'll look at the timing and who gets what. The warmest of the forecast will be Thursday. The best thing we can say about the weekend is at least it's dry. We'll look at all those numbers in just a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Ben. A doctor practicing in both Michigan and Ohio is behind bars tonight. Dr. Manish Gupta is charged with a nationwide spree of drug-related sex crimes. Local 4's Rod Maloney is following this story for us today and reveals why the feds say he recorded his own crimes.
After covering the federal courts for a long time, I can tell you it's exceptionally rare for a federal judge to decide to hold a defendant without bond. And yet that is the case with the plastic surgeon who works out of this Taylor office on occasion. After hearing what the feds said in this complaint, the judge deemed him entirely too dangerous to let back out into the community. 49-year-old Dr. Manish Raj Gupta here looks nothing like the well-traveled, Maserati driving, champagne drinking, board-certified plastic surgeon he is. The FBI arresting him at his Sylvania, Ohio home last Friday. He's charged with aggravated sexual abuse, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. But the complaint reads much more chillingly than that. Much of the evidence against him obtained through a search warrant of his Toledo area cosmetic surgery office. There, the FBI says it was able to find a medical bag containing powerful anesthetic drugs that he doesn't use in his practice, and video thumb drives they believe that he would either bring with him or have shipped cross-country to luxury hotels. The FBI claims Dr. Gupta would travel to cities like Detroit, Miami, Chicago, and Los Angeles for medical conferences, order escort services, drug, and then allegedly videotape himself assaulting the unconscious women. The FBI also claims a number of women complained on internet chat boards about him, which led to more victims than the original Los Angeles escort who filed the complaint. Gupta mostly worked in Ohio, but his father has an office called the Artisan Cosmetic Surgery Center on Telegraph Road in Taylor. It was closed today, but Manish Gupta's medical professional certificates visibly hung on the wall in the darkened lobby. Gupta also occasionally worked out of the old Oakwood, now Beaumont Hospital, just across the street in Taylor. Now, we reached out to Beaumont Hospital, and this afternoon they told us that this Dr. Gupta has not actually been employed by Beaumont Hospital, but he had privileges at Beaumont Hospital in Taylor for the last decade. They say that they have suspended those dormant privileges. Back to you.
Well, what about the state? Does the state of Michigan have any information on Dr. Gupta?
They do indeed. The first thing is that his medical license in the state of Michigan is in good standing. However, he is under investigation by the state, the Laura office in Lansing.
Yeah. Okay, Rod, thanks.
We're off and running on Primary Tuesday here in Michigan. Hank?
We all saw the voting mess play out in Iowa. Could something like that happen here in Michigan? We're talking with the Secretary of State on the plan to make sure your vote is counted. We're live tonight.
Okay, Hank. And it isn't often a new bus route would make news, but this one is big, and it's going to connect two major cities here in southeast Michigan, and Detroit is one of them.
But coming up first, why a Macomb County man had to be sentenced to life twice in the death of a 2-year-old boy. That's next.